Hi, welcome to Women's Health Matters podcast. On this podcast, we look at all areas of women's health, whether it's relationships, hormones, weight gain, knowing what to eat for your nutrition, exercise. And today I'm joined by Louise Fynes. She's a Chilates expert. And I always forget to say this, please can you subscribe to the channel and pass it on to as many people as possible, because my mission and passion is to help women feel like they did when they were younger and not be struggling in a world of hormone and weight and not sleeping. So anyway, welcome Louise. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Lucy. Thank you so much. It's always nice to join you on your podcast.
Yeah, you were a guest before. You were really,
I was a
really
guest
great.
Before.
Yeah, we were talking about
pelvic floor.
health. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite topics, pelvic floor health in women and in men, but mainly in women. Something that I work with every day, especially in the Chilates program, but also in my therapy practice. And I'm really happy to be on here to talk about this because it's one of those programs that's not well known, certainly not well known in Ireland. And I really want to share the benefits of the Chilates program, but also the joys. You know, we can all talk about benefits, but what the Chilates will bring you in your life is a lot of joy and happiness. So, and why is that? Because it helps you get a healthy spine. And Joseph Pilates always said, you are as young as your spine feels. And what I'm seeing every day in my practice, and what I'm seeing in the classes as well, is people are really suffering from stiffness in the spine, in the lower back areas, shoulder and neck areas. And they're really suffering in this with pains and stiffness in the spine. And it can be avoided and it can all be helped. So, and that's what we're doing in Chilates at the moment. We're really focused on getting people back to healthy spines, working from out a neutral position instead of always hunched over, and just teaching people how to be one with their bodies. You know, I even said this myself one day to the doctor. I said, I feel like my body's letting me down, you know, in the middle of menopause. And I actually thought to myself, have I ever thought for a moment that I'm letting my body down? And what I mean by that is that we expect our body just to keep going, you know, and in fact, it gets tired and we don't listen and it whispers. And when it's whispering, we should be listening, but instead we have to wait till it shouts until we are, you know, not able to move anymore. And we think, oh, now I need to do something about it. Or we get sick and we think, body's letting me down right at the time when I need to be healthy for me. We have to remember, we are the captain of our crew. So this is our captain and this is our crew. And if we're not guiding it and listening to it and nurturing it in the way it's supposed to be, then it's not going to be able to function. So in Chilates, we work through all sorts of exercises of all levels. Modifications are always available. What we start with chakra dance. Now, for people who don't know chakras, I'm not going to go into all the chakras today, but they're, you know, this chakras are our bodies. They represent communication, relaxation, sexuality. You know, there's a heart chakra. You know, there's loads of things in our bodies that we can learn to understand. And the chakra dance really just helps us move with the energy in our body. And sometimes you'll move and you'll flow, and other days you'll move and you'll be stomping because that's how you feel. And the chakra dance just really helps us move into that flow of how we are feeling. When we start with the chakra dance, it teaches us to pay attention to that flow, to pay attention to how we're moving. And it's really nice. We move to the sides, we go forward, and we throw everything behind us that we don't want. And we use our breathing. So we use our breathing, and at one point we go up and we go down like a waterfall coming over us. And it's such a nice way to move and to gently to breathe. So it's a really good way to start the class. And then we move on and we use a massage ball to release any tension in our feet. So our feet are really important, and I don't think we give them enough recognition. I mean, our feet keep us going all day. We stand on them, we walk on them, we run, you know, we sport on them. They're really important, and we don't give them enough recognition. So we use the massage ball to relax the tension in the feet, which in turn relaxes the tension in the muscles going up the legs, into our glutes and into our lower backs. And we do a simple test to see how, and you'll be surprised how much more flexibility you can get from just moving that ball back and forth on your feet. And then we move on and we do the 5 elements, which is a wonderful way of releasing our lungs, our kidneys, our hearts. And then we ground ourselves to start the program. And that's the big difference between Chilates and Pilates. Is Chilates brings in the chi. It brings in our core energies. And then Pilates brings in our core. So we mix the two together and we get Chilates. So we're mixing our chi energy with our core muscle and joints. And the mix of the two together is amazing. So we awaken all the elements in our bodies. We awaken all the organs in our bodies, especially the lungs and the kidneys, because they're really going to help us in that cleansing process. You know, I don't want to go into too much detail because it's just can be quite daunting and overwhelming. But we need the liver to clear everything out and go through our bodies, but we need the lungs to supply the oxygen level for that, and then we need the kidneys to be able to get rid of it, so pee it all out. So the elements and will really help. The 5-element program will really help us with that. So then we move on and we have then 4 of the parts of the class. So we have the core movement. So that's the core movement is not just our abdominals. People just think we'll just do crunches and we'll work our abdominals. No, we really need to work the whole core. Our thighs, so front and back of our thighs, our glutes, our stomachs, our backs, they're part of the core. They're going to keep us, steady, sustainable, and they're going to keep us healthy. So once we've activated all our core, so we do the series of 5 for that, which I have on my YouTube channel and also on my Facebook. I posted, or you can also find it on my website. So the series of 5 is a series of 5 exercises that are from the original Pilates. They're always in my class. And these 5 exercises work all 5 parts of our core in different ways. They're invaluable exercises to be done. So that's working the core. Then we work the sides. We work the psoas muscles. Psoas muscles are a big side muscle that we have. And for women especially, we depend on that to protect our organs and our womb structures and that sort of thing. And often women who have lower abdominal pain, it's coming from the psoas muscle being too tight and we're not even aware of it. We carry babies on our hips, we do all this sort of stuff where we carry shopping and we don't think about the psoas muscle because, it's not a name that we know. So we work the side muscles for the psoas muscles and the leg muscles, and then we work our shoulders and our necks. The class is in total 60 minutes. We work for 50 of those minutes. What's important?
That sounds like it's going to be really hard work for one that wouldn't be used to exercise. Is it tough, Louise, to do this? I know I've been to your classes. You're like an hour class and you've got to work for 50 minutes. I can feel the fear in people.
Well, really, we do about a 10-minute warming up. So, you're reducing it down to 40 minutes now. So what we do is we do the 10-minute, the warming up is approximately 10, sometimes 15 minutes, depending on the group and depending on how our energy is flowing. And then we have that core work program, which is from the Pilates. So if you've ever done Pilates, this is your next level up. So if you like Pilates and you like yoga and you like a bit of Tai Chi and you want to just combine them into one class, this Chilates, we take elements from all different types of exercises and we work them. We're not yoga, we're not Pilates, we're Chi. So we're getting in touch with our Chi. And that's really important because we're getting in touch with our energies.
So for people who don't know, I know what Chi is because I'm Chinese medicine, but for people who, I can explain it, but I want you to explain to people what Chi is. What does that mean?
Okay. Like you, I can explain this in a nice, highfalutin way, which will make me sound so important. if you don't want to. So really your chi is about your energy. So women, we have feminine energy and males have masculine energy. And sometimes as women, we get overtaken by our masculine energy because we are trying to be too much of ourselves, really. And we're asking too much of ourselves. And our energies and our yin and our yangs, as we call them as well, will get mixed up. So our chi is really just, and it's very simply done in the class. I mean, it sounds really complicated. And I know we all like to sound important, like we've studied lots of things. And it's very simple. If we just stand still and we place our right hand between our belly button and our pubic bone and our left hand above our right hand, and we just breathe through our hands, effectively you're breathing to your chi. You're just coming to yourself and being centered. So there's no real, black magic science to it. It's just you concentrating on the flow of energy going through your body. So if you want to look at the science side of it, it's about getting your blood going, getting your oxygen going, so that you're feeding your body with the energy you need. I often refer it to, if you have a car, you will make sure you've got petrol in a car, or diesel in the car, or electric, whatever a car is these days. In my day, it was just diesel or petrol. And you'll make sure that the core of that car is taken care of. It needs petrol or diesel to run. It needs oil. And we make sure we do all of those things. And in the same way, our chi in our body needs oxygen. It needs blood flow. It needs nourishment. It needs nurture. And it needs us to be paying attention to it. Because again, I go back to the beginning and I was talking about chakras. And again, for another podcast maybe, but chakras, when they're out of line, can cause a lot of problems with our chi because our energies aren't flowing right. Our heart chakra's out, our communications can be out. It's all intercombined, and same with our muscles and our bones and our joints. So when we go to Pilates classes, we work on our muscles and we work on getting them elongated, and we work hard to get our core going and our strength going. And as we grow older, which I have definitely been graced with the growing older phase, our muscle density and our bones, they start reducing, and we need to keep them going. And a strength training program is the best way to do that. And what we've done in Chilates is we've combined the strength training with our chi training. So we're getting two for the price of one, which is quite nice, really. So going back to that chi, it's giving us the energy to do the strength training that we need to keep our body healthy.
Because I think I know with my own clients, a lot of them are in fear of the gym because they've never been there before, and lifting weights and stuff, they don't want to build up these big bulky muscles. So this is a much easier way of doing it, keeping those muscles strong and the bones strong without having to go to the gym, essentially. Yeah, and you're creating energy within your system.
So you're giving that chi the energy it needs. And when you're doing strength training, any sort of strength training, so the strength training that I'm going to teach you is about your own body weight. I hear people saying that, oh my God, my own body weight. Do you know how heavy I am? It doesn't matter. You can carry your own body weight. If you can carry your body weight around every day, you can do strength training with your body weight. It's that simple.
So Louise, tell me, how did you get in, how did you become a Chilates teacher? What made you change from Pilates to Chilates?
Well, I've been a Pilates instructor for so many years. Those years that I keep forgetting to add on years to. And I trained with Debbie Jenner. She's English. She was because I was in Holland. I lived in Holland for 21 years, and I trained there as a Pilates instructor under Debbie Jenner. And Debbie Jenner had brought ground Pilates to Holland. So you have all sorts. You have the reformer Pilates, you have ground Pilates. And because I'm a big believer in using your own body, I wanted to do ground Pilates. So I studied ground Pilates. I loved it. And I was getting so many benefits. And I was working with a lot of people with a lot of complicated back problems and pain management. And they were really getting a lot out of the ground Pilates I was teaching. So when Debbie came up and she said, well, we're going to look at this differently, I was like, yes, let's do that. So we moved to Chilates now. Chilates, because Pilates is the basis of core training, and it's a really good program. It really helps a lot of people and a lot of especially with spinal problems and back injuries or back issues. Chilates offers them then the extra additional, as we're getting older, and it's not only getting older, it's also for people, younger people who suffer from injuries. But as we're getting older, it offers that extra stretching that we don't have in Pilates because the program is too tightly packed, because we have a set program we want to follow in Pilates, which is fantastic. And I've always loved it, and I still love it, and I still use it for some clients. But Chilates is offering us now the extra stretching movements. So we do a lot more stretching in Chilates than we do in Pilates. It's offering the core training with the chi training, and on top of that, we're getting stretches. Stretches is going to help us with our breathing. We only have to breathe a minimum of 12 times a minute. If we can get our breathing down to 12 times a minute, we will live in a much more relaxed state of mind. Because the more we're breathing in that minute, the more carbon dioxide we're bringing to our body as well. But the more we're stressing ourselves out because we're breathing higher. So when we learn to breathe low into the stomach and really bring all that capacity in the lungs opening and closing, we learn to relax. We can then, instead of reacting to situations in our lives, we can respond to them. So when something comes in, instead of going, we'll go, and the stretching moments in the Chilates is what teaches us to do that. And that's what I really love about the program. Also, like, I'm aging, gracefully or disgracefully, whichever you want to choose. And
how do you mentioned it a few times, and I know with some women, aging is a big issue. Because we're maybe not as mobile, and this is what you're saying, that the mobility, you can really get your mobility back. But like, how do you feel about aging? How do you feel about aging gracefully?
Before I was turning 50, I was telling everybody, I am turning 50, I made it, I actually really enjoy, I've embraced the aging process, partly because I feel so young. I know people say, oh, I feel 20, but I actually feel young. I feel young in my body. I feel young in my mind. So I'm actually pleased because I'm aging gracefully, as I might say, young. I'm going to die old young. That's my motto. I'm going to die old young. So by doing these programs, and I've only been my only health program, fitness program at the moment, and has been for the last two and a half years, is the Chilates program.
And how does it benefit you? Because you're doing it all the time. So you're doing classes. How does it benefit you? So if anyone wanted to come, we've something really exciting to add at the end of this. So keep going to the end, everyone. But just how do you feel it benefits you?
Well, in the first year of doing Chilates, I lost 7% fat out of my body. And I was doing Chilates. I teach it a lot, but I was doing a max of 3 full classes a week for myself. So I was doing 4 classes, but I was teaching a lot more classes. But while you're teaching classes, you're walking around and checking people. So you're not actually doing the full class. So doing 3 classes a week, I lost 7% fat, which is huge.
And where did you lose the fat? Because I know you're very tall and very slim.
I'm 173 people. Okay, not very tall, just 173. I just have a straight spine. But a lot of people in Ireland say to me, "You're so tall," and it's actually a posture. And once not even 5'6", So it's it's a matter of how you hold yourself, and that's what Chilates gave me. It gave me this posture, and this breathing. This open chest breathing is such a welcome to the aspect. But I lost it all overall. I went from a visceral fat from 9 down to 7, So I lost 2 on that, which was huge. That's your organ. That was huge.
Oh, sorry,
So I went down to
the signal went very bad there. You'll have to repeat that about the visual fat.
a visual fat. I went down from a 9 to a 7. So that's huge. I mean,
And
that's
how did
2.
you measure that? Like, if anyone wants to know, how do you measure that for a person?
Well, I have a weighing scale that does all the magic.
Okay.
In my practice, but you can also measure around but you feel it. You feel it in yourself. You notice your clothes are looser, but you feel it. And I felt it was feeling it for me was the most important thing, because go to men. Sometimes I looked at somebody pumped me with air. I'd be like so bloated, and I'd be like, oh, I hate this bloated feeling. And because we incorporated into the Chilates program, we incorporated sort of a meditation at the end with a sort of detox movement and that sort of thing. I was detoxing constantly, and it sort of happened without me even noticing in the beginning, because you don't notice these things are happening until good 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks into what you're doing. So if you're expecting to see miracles in the first week, I hate to disappoint you, but it's not miracle school, it's Chilates, and it takes time, like everything else. And when clients come to me and say, yeah, but I need to lose 10 kilos in 10 weeks. I said, did you gain it in 10 weeks? I don't think so. So, you're not going to lose it in 10 weeks. You're going to, and I never do weight loss programs. I only do healthy lifestyle programs. And I was so happy when I saw the changes. My metabolic age is 41, which makes me 10 years younger than I am. So that's really a nice way. And I still enjoy, my wine. I still enjoy my cheese and crackers. I just, it's the 80-20 rule. If you're doing good 80% of the time, 20% of the time, you can have a break. And that's what I did. And I was doing the Chilates, but the Chilates made me feel, it made me feel tall. So that's how I walk. It gave me this confidence to walk tall. It made me feel tall. It made me feel, it's how it makes you feel. It makes me feel good, and I love getting up every day. And I remember there's something, I saw something recently on social media about it, but I remember when I first moved to Ireland and I'm going to the shops and people go, oh, you're very glamorous. Where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to the shops. Because it gave me the confidence to get up every day and put my makeup on, and just be me and let people see me instead of going around. And there's one thing I never do, and I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, it's up to people's own decision, but I only wear leggings as in sport I'm sporting, because
you only wear leggings, sorry,
when I'm sporting.
When you're okay, so sporting is obviously a word from Holland, I think.
Yeah, sporting, yes. When I'm being sporting, when I'm being sportive, and when I'm actually training, when I'm training or I'm exercising, I wear sports clothes. When I'm not wearing them, because I'm not that, I'm not going to define myself by my sports clothes, even though I sport every day. So when I'm not sporting, or whatever the word is, exercising.
No, it's
training,
fine. I just wanted to say that. I like the word sporting. It's nice. I like that word.
I'm bringing a new word into the English language. When I'm not, in the sporting time, I like to take the time to dress my body and make myself feel good, because I always believe clothes don't make the person, but they make you what they make you feel. So they make me feel good. So I always wear, for example, I always wear scarves. I have a whole wardrobe full of them, one for every outfit nearly, but I always wear scarves because I like wearing scarves, and I match them with outfits, and just those little things is what Chilates gave me the confidence to do, which before I was always in sport clothes. I was, because I worked in the gym. I was a massage therapist, worked with the footballers. I was always in sport clothes. And then I thought, who am I? Am I this jogging pack? No. This jogging suit? No. This jogging suit is not me. So when I started Chilates, I really began to get my energy going again, but get my feminine energy going again, which I had lost along the way somewhere because I was such a exercise freak and I was always training people or training myself. And at one point I was doing 23 hours a week training, and then I was working, and then I thought I was very masculine and I wanted to get back to my feminine side. And that is exactly what Chilates gave back to me, my feminine side. Helped me stand tall in my spine, which is, healthier than ever in my 50s. And it just gave me that feminine. And you can be feminine and still, achieve everything you want to achieve. You don't have to hide your femininity to achieve what you need to achieve. And I think that's the mistake. And when we're exercising and training as much as a lot of the women are, we forget that we're females and we're feminine, and we don't have to go around in tracksuits and sporting leggings all day. We can be something else, and that's what I learned. And when I started standing taller, and when I started really feeling my energies, that's when I started noticing that my fat levels were going down and my bloating was reducing.
Yeah, because a lot of women I see, again, that would be an issue, bloating, weight gain, particularly around their tummies. So I'm sure like the fact that you lost that 7% body fat would be, over a period of time, and knowing that, once you've got the movements and skills, you can practice this at home as well, that you can, you can do really well as well as the classes, that you can, do anything that you want to achieve, really.
Exactly. And we can achieve, I mean, it's in the realms of within the law, obviously, we're not promoting people to go do stupid things, but I do believe as women, and particularly as women of I'm going to say our age. I know Lucy's younger than me, right? Everybody, so just throw
I'm
out
the
there.
same age as you. I'm 51 as well.
She's younger than me, but
I think I might be older. My birthday's March. When did you turn?
March too.
Oh, okay. So we have to go even closer now. I'm the 9th of March.
Oh, you are older than me.
Ah, there we go.
Wow, I'm the 31st. But
so a whole like 22 days older.
Yeah, but it's really important at our age. No, I'm joking. I'm really joking. But no, I mean, I think we are the last generation of women who have seen the need to be masculine in order to succeed. I'm glad to see the younger version of ourselves do not have to do that anymore. But we're now in the menopause, which is confusing us, and it's causing us great anxiety, sleeplessness, and all sorts of stuff. And we need, it's a physical and a mental need to understand what we're going through. We go to the, quite often you'll go to the GP, they'll give you antidepressants or they'll give you the pill. Nobody's looking at this as a holistic thing, and that we can actually get better in our chi, in our core, and just really, and you don't need to go to the gym and be pumping loads of weight. You can use body weight to help you through this. So your strength training can be done with your own body weight. So that's also really, really important. And I don't do any weights. I haven't done weights for a long time, and I've only ever used my own body weight to do my strength training. And I have a perfectly good bone density. I have a good muscle mass. My metabolic age is 10 years younger than I am. So my fat percentage is good. So, and I am living my best life. That doesn't say, so for anybody listening who's thinking, oh my God, how does she do it? I don't do it every day. We all have our bad days. I just don't live in my bad days. I don't let my bad days get the mortgage. I'm like, no, not paying the mortgage on you. I'm going to move on. And one bad day can give you a bad week. One good day can give you a good month. if you allow it. You know, it's because the bad days can drag us down easier than the good days can bring us up. And in Chilates, we have an hour where we laugh, we work hard, but we play hard too. So we laugh, we joke, we rehydrate, we reconnect with our core muscles, which I have to say, sometimes I'm like, oh, you're still there, Monday class, and I've had a good weekend. I'm like, oh, my core is still there. That's nice, and I'm not alone in that. So, and I enjoy a good. I mean, I have a good life. I don't have too many complaints. Not the right podcast for that. We'll do that another one. No, but I really love Chilates, and I love teaching it, and I love sharing what I've got from it, and that's what I've got from it. Really, I'm a 173 meter, which is less than 5'6" tall woman, who most people who meet me think I'm much taller, which is amazing. I'm not. It's because I've got a healthy spine. That's it. That's my secret, girls. That's it. Nothing else.
I like that. I like that you feel, like you feel like you're in your 20s, and your actually calculations show that your body is strong enough of a 41-year-old, which is amazing. So, like, you can achieve this with not too much effort, really, just a small amount.
Yeah, a small amount of effort and changes in the lifestyle. It's
little few tweaks.
But it's also about listening to your body to rest. I mean, I do take my rest. I mean, most people who look at me think, you never sleep. Oh, I do. I can tell you, I do. I sleep, and I take my rest when I need it. And I try to make sure Sundays are one of the days in the week where I don't work, and that I have family time, just to reconnect and get together at least once a week and have a meal. I mean, my kids are all older now, so so they have their own things going on. So it's nice if you can reconnect once a week. And I choose Sunday to do that, which is nice. Even nicer the sunshine occasionally.
So thank you, Louise, for all that amazing information about Chilates. And I've done it myself, so I know it is amazing, and I really love the Monday night sessions that we do. I really, really enjoy them. And I noticed with me, because of my injury that I did to my back when I was 25, no, a little bit older, 27, I had a fall racing and broke my back. So I do know that the stretches, particularly around the pelvis and hips, really do help me a lot. And I feel energized and alive coming out of your class. And I often feel when I leave as well that I'm moving better. I'm like, oh, I'm actually striding out better. So it is brilliant. Very, very good. Now, Louise and I have something really exciting to announce as well. We're going to start next week. I think we said on the 14th, or is it? That's
14th of July.
14th of July. We're going to do a 6-week online Zoom course for just 20 special people, helping them with Chilates, ways to improve sleep. We're going to be looking at coaching through uncertainty and certainty, your significance, your love and connection, your growth and your contribution. We're going to be looking at like flight and fight, your emotions around that, anxiety and depression, especially at this stage of our lives. Looking at nutrition, as in what to eat and why you eat it really is the most important thing. Because I don't know about you, Louise, detest the word diet, because I think as soon as I say diet, it means Lucy has to eat more biscuits in the cupboard. That's just
exactly.
a trigger in my brain.
Exactly.
So I just detest that word, but I really love the idea of understanding why you eat foods and what it's doing for your body, and it just helps you make better choices. And it's about hydration as well. Hydration is vitally important to feeling healthy.
Mm-hmm. It is. And so we're going to be offering from the 14th of July. It's an online program, so you don't have to leave your house. Even if you're on holiday, you can still do it, as long as you've got a Wi-Fi connection, which most of us have on unlimited data on our telephones now. Do it on your telephone, do it on your laptop, do it on your tablet, wherever you are. We're going to offer you 45 minutes Chilates program and a half-an-hour coaching, groups coaching. So if you sign up for this program, having listened to this podcast, and you sign up before next Tuesday, which is the 11th of July, 12th of July. So sign up before the 12th of July, you will get 10% off the cost. So you can mail us. Lucy will put all the information in her little
yeah, I'll share the link.
writing piece. She has a link. She'll share the link to my website, her website, but also to this special offer link, which is not on our websites. This is for this podcast, which we'll be sharing this podcast on Facebook and different platforms. So 5 minutes Chilates, so we're not going to kill you completely. So we're going to do a half-an-hour coaching. We're going to introduce you to the 45 minutes of Pilates, Chilates, Chi work for 6 weeks. And we're going to look at all those things next that sit next to our health, as in our physical health, but our physical and mental wellness as well. So we're going to be looking at strength training. We're looking at nourishment. We're going to be looking at let's get more sleep, ladies, because we all need it. And we're going to be looking at the anxiety that surrounds the uncertainty of going through the changes that we are going through in life, and how we can build that into healthy relationships, good communication. And ladies, and for the ladies and the gents that might sign up, there might be a brave man out there, I don't know. But for the women who are signing up, I will talk to you through some good sexual health, because I love growing old and being happy in a sexual relationship. So 10% discount if you sign up from this podcast before next Thursday. And Lucy will give you all the details, and I look forward to meeting you all online, sharing my Chilates days with you, because I love Chilates.
Okay, thanks Louise for being such an amazing guest and telling us all about Chilates. It's really interesting. As I said, I've done it myself and it is amazing. Bye everyone.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Bye.